Now the angry young man.
It becomes a turning deck.
IPL, Border Gavaskar Trophy, and a little fitness tip for you guys out there as I answer the questions that you keep sending me in on my socials. I absolutely love this interaction. Rohit Yadler is the first question that I'm going to answer. So thanks very much, Rohit. Who do you think is going to buy Rishabh Pant in the auction? Rohit thinks it's going to be Punjab Kings. I agree with you, Rohit. The reason being is that Ricky Ponting has taken up the coaching position there, and I believe that both of them had a fantastic relationship at the Delhi Capitals. They were on the same page. I think Rishabh Pant is a good leader, good tactician, and I think he loves being under the tuition of Ricky Ponting and is learning so much, and his game's growing as well. And that leads me to the next question, because the next question is from our Aunt Dad. I'll try and get this right.
Our Aunt Dad.
Our Aunt Taddy 1408 is the hashtag. Which player do you think is going to be the most expensive in the IPL auction? Rishabh Pant is definitely going to be the most expensive player in the auction, and I think he's going to go to Punjab Kings for the reasons before, Ricky Ponting's relationship, but also they've got a lot to spend, and they are going to do it differently under Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting is going to bring something different to Punjab Kings, and finally they might be able to turn things around. Instead of being out the bottom of the table, start being in the top four on a consistent timeline over the next 3 years. So watch this space. Rishabh Pant to be the most expensive player in the auction of this year's IPL. Not the most expensive player to be paid, but in the auction, I think Klasan from Hyderabad is going to probably end up being the most expensive, but be a chance of Pant there because there'll be a lot of interest there. Now, Vinnie 2749, we're staying on the IPL here. This is a great question. What do you think of Punjab and Bangalore's retention list? Well, Punjab Kings kept Shashank Singh and Prabhasimran Singh as well, two uncapped players. Now, this is a good choice because both players did reasonably well last year, especially Shashank. He's averaged 40 at a high strike rate. Prabhasimran, he had a high strike rate, but batting in the lower order, the average wasn't there. But when you've got two players of this calibre who have had success in the IPL, and they're still on your on a rookie type retention list, you keep these particular players, because if you threw them in the auction, they could go for a big price, especially when teams or franchises have still got money in the pie and they're looking for those extra batsmen to fill up their 11 spots. And these two would be players that you would want to utilise as uncapped players to be able to fill up your spots. So well done to Punjab Kings. They've left a lot of money in the pie as well moving forward, and there's a lot of quality out there to be able to be picked up to produce a good squad. So watch out for that with Punjab Kings. RCB, Kohli, he averaged 60 out of strike rate of 150 last year. Patidar 30 out of 177, and Yash Dayal, I thought he bowled well with the new ball and also in the death, and he's an uncapped player. I think these two teams did extremely well in their retentions, keeping their retentions. They've kept a lot of money with good stock in the IPL auction, so I'm happy with it. RCB keeping Dale is very important. An uncapped player who delivers in the back end and the front end, especially out Bengaluru, is hard to get. So invest in him. He would have gone for a lot of money in this auction if they didn't keep him. I think he's still undervalued with RCB. And keeping Patidar and Virat Kohli, you need to keep two quality Indian players in your batting lineup. So well done to RCB. I think Punjab Kings and RCB are in the best positions going to the auctions than what I've seen of those two teams over the past 10 years. I think they're setting themselves up to turn their fortunes around and start being a success in the IPL. Right, we're going to go to the next question. Shrasay Pobate. Will the dependence on the big three reduce with South Africa, West Indies and New Zealand doing well in Williams cricket recently? I actually like this particular question, but I don't think things are going to change. I think the world cricket game is always going to be reliant on India especially, but also England and Australia, because they produce the high quality players. They've also got a lot of interest in sponsorship dollars as well. So when it comes to the financial side of it and the infrastructure side of it, those three nations are always going to be leading the other nations. But it's their role to assist the other nations to improve, to make sure that they're competitive, to grow the quality of cricketers around there and the standard of cricket, both in the women's game and the men's game. India, who have got the most money, still have to remember that international cricket is still a good foundation moving forward to keep the game strong with interest around the globe, but also to keep quality players coming in from overseas to also help with the fantastic IPL tournament that we've got going on Indian soil. So that's my point on that, but very good question, Sri Say, and I'm glad the women's game is improving massively. Now, the angry young man. What is a good cricket pitch according to you in 5-day test matches? Well, a good cricket pitch for me is one where fast bowlers can really have an impact on the first day. You've got to bat well to get through that new ball. And then as the test match goes on, it becomes a bit of a batting paradise. And then out the back end of day 4, day 5, it becomes a turning deck.
Wait a minute!
It becomes a turning deck.
Where things, where the pitch starts to rough up, so spinners come into play, but fast bowlers are able to have that ability to reverse swing the ball. So basically, if you're bowling first, you've got to make inroads, and if you're bowling last, you've still got a chance as well to make an impact with the ball. In the middle periods, in the second and third innings, you really have to make high scores in that period and make the most of the best batting conditions. So that's my ideal test pitch. Do you agree with that? The angry angry young man. Now, Harsha Reddy. Hi, sir. What is your Border Gavaskar trophy prediction? I think Australia are going to win 3-2 in this particular series. I think the holes for Australia going into the series is finding an opening bat with Khawaja. I don't think anyone's in top form there. And also Mitchell Marsh, how many overs can he bowl? They would like him to be able to bowl at least 10 overs in innings. That's if India start batting well and bat for a long period of time, where they're going to face around about 110, 120 overs. So you want to take the load off the fast bowlers, but also Nathan Lyon there as well. You want that quality all-rounder in there. With India, the holes are Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli's form. Are they going to be able to step up? I'm a little bit worried about Rohit Sharma with his age. And also the bowling attack, the fast bowling attack. Who's going to step up and help Boomerang? Akashdeep is a wonderful bowler. He's got to be like Glenn McGrath, just hit that top of off stump and be as patient as possible. And Rana, he's, I think, well, Rana or Siraj, but I'd like to see Rana have a bit of a crack. The youngster, I think he's got a little bit of extra pace and bounce, and might be able to just fill the void of that lack of pace that you're going to lose from Shami. So can Deep and Rana, as well as Siraj, step up and help Boomer in the pace department? But that's why I think Australia are going to win 3-2. Now let's go to Paul Walker 7949. Batsmen need to change their gloves every 5 minutes. Wear inners. No wonder T20 takes so long. Exactly right. This annoys me. You shouldn't be changing your gloves every 5 minutes in T20 cricket. It's a short game. Hassan Amla from South Africa, I don't think I ever saw him change his gloves. It was that composed, but having to change your gloves every 5 minutes is not on. Simple as that. And umpires need to jump on it. And bowling teams are starting to get demerit points or lose runs. There's rules that really get stuck into the bowling team for slow over rates. But no one jumps on batsmen for slowing the game down as well. So I think umpires have got to have the ability to say, right, no, it was the batting team that slowed the game down too much here. That's why the bowling team has a slow over rate. So we're going to dock the batting team 5 runs or 10 runs. Or we're going to allow the bowling team to have an extra fielder out. So instead of 5 fielders, have 6 fielders on the fence in that final over, if the game has been slowed down a lot. That's something that we can look at. I agree with you, Paul Walker, 7949. What do you think of my idea there? And 6, Vignesh Official. Sorry, it's just Vignesh Official. How could you manage to get fitness at the age of 45 in the IPL? Well, Vignesh, it's just a matter of willpower, wanting to continue playing the game, and wanting to keep a healthy body. At the end of the day, all I try and do is half an hour of aerobic exercise 3 times a week. That's a bit like HIIT, where I do interval running or interval bike riding. Sometimes I'll take one of those HIIT exercises and just do a long or an hour jog or an hour ride, where my heart rate's around about 120, I think, but I'm not going out full point. I'm going about 60% to 75% of my max. And then I try and get into the gym for half an hour 3 times a week. So if you want to do something, you want to stay healthy, you don't have to do much to keep healthy, just enough exercise during the week. 3 to 5 times a week is enough to keep that body healthy in my neck of the woods. But anyway, guys, thanks very much for your questions. Hope you enjoyed the answers. If you think differently, hey, get your comments downstairs, but also get your questions in. And thanks very much for following me, guys, and thanks very much for following the game.